And welcome to Flightdeck Live, powered by SportBuff. If you go to sportbuffshop.com and use the code OWLFlightdeck10 at checkout, you will save 10% off your first order. I'm Tim Capper, along with Cliffy D from GD Place. First from Olsen West.
Exactly. Get it right. We don't have any security to stop us this time, so we're going to get things right now.
That's right.
We are here live at Percival Molson Stadium West, where the Montreal Alouettes improve to 7-1 by manhandling the Ottawa RedBlacks. I believe the final score is 34-13.
That is correct, sir.
Ooh.
That is correct. That it is a nice, even Baker's dozen. It's funny to say even in Baker's dozen. Baker's dozen. Owls have won here in Ottawa 13 straight times. They've also beaten the RedBlacks 13 straight times. This game, Cliff, tonight, and I mentioned to you before, by the way, during the game itself, and especially at the end, where, yes, the Alouettes win by 21 points tonight. It's funny to say that 21 points did not really at all equate what the game was today, because it should have been a lot more.
Yeah, I was expecting, especially just the way that first half of football went, I was expecting this to be the belt-to-ass game that I've been looking for, begging for from the Montreal Alouettes.
Very close. Very close,
but not quite. And it's kind of funny to say, because usually leading by 21 suggests that you're definitely dominating your opponents. You're definitely well in control of the game, but it still felt like with just a lot of the play. And again, credit to the Ottawa RedBlacks for not looking like a team that still hasn't won their first game yet this season. But honestly, I mean, they say 21 points is the toughest lead to maintain, right? I kind of got that energy from the team tonight. I mean, a win's a win. We keep saying this over and over again, but I mean, this at least felt a little bit more concrete, a little more dominant, but I'm still waiting for that belt to ass moment.
Yeah, again, we talk about wanting to go the full 60 minutes, Cliff, and it's funny to say that this really was not that game, because the defense was not perfect tonight. They weren't perfect at all.
No, again, Jake Mayer and company was really, they really had it down for the most part, but the crucial moments, like the goal lines stands, they just like against Winnipeg a couple weeks ago, they just couldn't get it done. They couldn't slam the door. They couldn't get into the end zone. I mean, aside from one Daniel Adeboboye touchdown and two Lewis Ward, Alouette legend Lewis Ward, field goals, the Ottawa RedBlacks just couldn't get her done today. And Montreal took full advantage of that.
A lot of other things too. I mean, I'm still waiting to hear from the league on this, but Cliff, the Alouettes, for the first time that I can remember, and who knows how long, and I'm trying to find out when's the last time it was done to start the game, and also the last time the Alouettes did this, they scored had three consecutive drives with touchdowns. And again, what I was just saying, they did it to start the game.
Yep. Not one, not two, but three touchdown drives. That is absolutely incredible. And Davis Alexander, we were concerned last week about Davis Alexander. We felt he was just off a little bit. He wasn't terrible, but he was just not the Davis Alexander we've come to know and love. Tonight, that Davis Alexander that we've come to know and love, he was here. He was in full form. He was doing the damn thing and just looking absolutely sensational in doing so.
He looked mad. It seemed like a mad Davis Alexander. A
little chip on his shoulder, a little bit pissed off.
I think that's what happened last week. Yeah, I mean, yes, I will admit, the Alouettes did last week. They were able to pivot and use the running game to their advantage. Tonight, man, Davis, I mean, at halftime, what the Owls had too, I mean, and it was just absolutely crazy considering what Davis was able to do, and was able to keep up the stats going into the second half. That's been the biggest Achilles heel for this team, is the third quarter. It's gotten better. It did well tonight, and it really did start. And I know I'm kind of bearing lead on some other stuff, but let me just talk about this. Besides, and we can talk about it again, besides the refereeing just being absolutely atrocious tonight, and the command center, or the replay center, Let's put it this way. The Alouettes scored a touchdown on their opening drive tonight. The Alouettes also, after stopping the RedBlacks on a third and goal deep in deep in their end, they 109-yard.
They marched it down
on their first play as the first drive of the second half.
Absolutely sensational. Again, we talk about that being the Achilles heel of the third quarter for this team, and for the most part it has been, but last week against Hamilton looked okay. They got they were able to score there, but tonight it really felt like whatever it was, whatever sort of malaise or sort of issues that they have in the third quarter, they just shook them off and just looked, again, not dominant, but looked well in control of this game.
It's funny to say. I really think that if you look at it, we talk about all phases of this game. I'm going to go back to the defense itself. It still wasn't perfect, despite having a couple of sacks, despite having an interception, despite it being where, Davis Alexander was, because they were up so much that Davis was able to sit out the last couple of series, while some of the other wide receivers were able to sit out the last couple of series. Travis Tice was able to sit out the last couple of series. Yep. It was still the defense. And if you look at the total yards, I'm just going to go to this real quick because I know there's a lot more accolades we have to get because I'm bearing the lead on something really big tonight, obviously.
Yes.
Ottawa had 375 total yards of offense tonight. That's not, it's basically because of yard drives that were stopped on the goal line, not once, but twice.
Yep. Again, this team doesn't play like a team that's 0-7 now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still baffling nonetheless to see what's it going to take for Ottawa to get their first win of the year. Clearly not playing the Montreal Alouettes because, they did beat, or they nearly beat Montreal at Percival Molson Stadium East. But as they say, there's no place like home, even if it's a home away from home for the Montreal Alouettes.
Yep.
Tonight, we saw the domination. We saw the Alouettes that we've come to expect out of this team time and time again. Tonight, we saw this Montreal Alouettes team look like arguably the best football team in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pivot here, and I'm gonna say, let's put it this way. I told you this in the fourth quarter, Cliff, and I've always said right now, if you can look at how good a team does on second down conversions, you will know if they are going to win or lose. Right?
Absolutely.
Alouettes tonight, 504 yards of offense. By the way, average gain per play as 9.9 per play. The Owls on second down tonight, Cliff, were 13 of 18 for a whopping 72.2% completion success rate on second down tonight.
Golly. We've been talking all season about video game numbers, not just from Davis Alexander, Tyson Philpott, Tyler Snead, and so on. This team now as a whole, proof's right there. Numbers don't lie. The numbers are just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. These stats are unfathomable practically. If we didn't see it with our own eyes, we wouldn't believe it. It's just, it's remarkable just how well this team does on offense compared to previous years when defense was ruling the roost for Montreal. The offense is just clicking over and over and over again. They just look like such a well-oiled machine.
It goes to a healthy Davis Alexander.
And you said it before, and you'll no doubt say it again.
Yes.
I'll echo that too. This team is going to go as far as a healthy Davis Alexander is going to take them. And right now, dude is on one. He is truly, truly on another level. It's almost not fair. Tyler Snead, absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not fair. It's almost
him and Tyson are going head to head this week. So.
And they've been doing that for the past couple of weeks now. It just feels like anything you can do, I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes for, what they say, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
The competition between these guys, friendly as it may or may not be, I think it is, but it just makes everybody better. Everybody wants to see, can we top what Tyson did? Can we top what Tyler did? Can we top what Cole Speaker did? 2 touchdowns, by the way, this evening for Cole Speaker, who spent, arguably the first third of the season on the 6-game injured list. He looks pretty good to me now. If there was ever any doubt about Cole Speaker and what he's able to do in this offense, guess what? Davis Alexander makes him a very pivotal part of this offense.
Speaking of offense, Davis Alexander tonight, big play DA, QB1, QB fun, 22 of 30, 420 yards, a new career high for Davis Alexander. Woo. 3 touchdowns and, how many interceptions? Zero. But that's not the best part of it. Because like I said, we're really bearing one of the biggest leads today.
Maybe stop doing it then.
I'm going to spit it out. I'm going to 11 targets, 9 receptions for 184 yards tonight for Tyson Philpott. Surpasses 1,000 receiving yards, his very first time to do this. It is also, he does it in 8 games. He ties a league record by doing so. He tied the feat, as I said, in 8 games. He ties Hal Patterson, who did it in 1956, another former Alouettes, by the way, and Terry Greer, who did it in 1983. Wow. He is up there in the echelons of the CFL record book for this.
Can we just skip the formalities? CFL, can we just give Philpott the most outstanding Canadian? Honestly, who and I'm not trying to put anybody down here, but who else is doing what Tyson Philpott is doing right now as a not just national receiver, just a national player, period?
Yeah.
Who is doing what Tyson Philpott is doing right now for the Montreal Alouettes? Nobody. He's truly, truly in a class all by himself.
Yeah, we're talking about the tete-a-tete tonight between the two wide receivers. Tyler Snead, 9 targets, 8 receptions for 174 yards and a touchdown. I mean...
You know what? I don't know if there was a threat of doing chores around the house for him and DA. I don't know if it's, how they hype each other up. It's like, okay, if you get these touchdowns, you don't have to do the dishes, or, I'll load the dishwasher if you take care of, stuff on the field.
By the way, the Cliff's comment, they're roommates.
Yes.
They're roommates. So when we joke about this and we say, maybe there's something, but it's...
Listen, who knows? And
you got to do the laundry. So,
that's it. You clean this. You scrub the toilets.
Exactly. Alex Hollins tonight, 45 yards. Cole Speaker, only 17, but 2 touchdowns.
Only 17.
By the way, both of his receptions tonight were those touchdowns.
There you go. What more can you say about Cole Speaker? It's like we're talking it up about Tyler Snead and Tyson Philpott. Well deserved, but do not be sleeping on Cole Speaker. And if you do, well, that's what happens. 2 tutties.
Yeah. By the way, for the defense, we're talking Jeffrey Kennedy, Arku, and Ty Richards had a sack tonight. Okay. One thing that we were talking about before is that, we said the score should have been bigger than what it was. At least it should be in the 40s. And there were 2 plays tonight that really took away 2 Alouette touchdowns. Mm-hmm. One was to Ferdinand, and the other one I think was to
Tyson.
Yeah, to Tyson.
Yeah.
And I know people were chiming in to us during the game itself on socials and DMing us and the group chat and stuff like that. And it wasn't just us too; it was fans across the country who were really complaining about this. And it's because it was the refs, and like I said at the beginning of the show, it also had to do with the replay center tonight.
Yep. And, we're not ones to have, be conspiracy theorists or suggest that perhaps whoever's in the replay center maybe has an axe to grind. Kind of apropos in this building. Right?
You're right. Good one.
With the Montreal Alouettes. But at the same time, and again, we're going to go back and we'll take a look at, some of these non-calls or however you want to phrase it. But I'm sorry. Some of these calls were just clear as day. But because they favored the Montreal Alouettes, you take them away, they don't count? Nah. So, something's rotten in Denmark. There's no question.
And I don't want people to say that, well, you guys are just being sore winners, saying that there should be another 14 points on the board. You want the refs to be, as we would say, impartial and get calls right as much as possible, even for your team.
100%.
And if these 14, we're lucky that these 14 points didn't make a difference in this game tonight.
Nope. The
defense was able to stand up on those 2 goal line stands. Thank goodness.
Yeah, and it's funny because I didn't see any super spectacular plays other than the 2 sacks and the Lorenzo Burns interception that ultimately iced this game for Montreal.
Yep.
But they still did their job. But still, Ottawa was able to hang with them for the most part. However, Ottawa, and maybe this is simply just the fact that they too are just simply unable to execute on offense. They should have had more points on the board as well.
True.
The fact that they only had 13 is, if I'm Ryan Dinwiddie, I'm really taking a long, hard look at my staff, and I'm going, guys, what the hell?
Yeah. By the way, Ottawa, the Alouettes defense, I know we've been harping on them, but the Alouettes defense did shut out Ottawa tonight in the second half.
It really did.
So, by the way, we got to mention, by the way, he had such a great game last week. He's played not as much of an integral part of the game this week, but Travis Tice did quite well. He had 10 attempts for 62 yards and a touchdown.
There you go. Tice, baby. Too cool.
Yeah. So, what else could we look at this game itself, Cliff? We know, again, it wasn't a perfect game. I don't know what it is about the people working while we're doing the show. Don't they know that we're live?
Noise. Rude is what they are.
I tell you, God, how rude.
Our home away from home.
I know.
This is how we get treated. But you know what? No one's accosted us yet. Knock on wood. There's plenty of it around here too. So, wait, a lot of themes here in this place.
There is. By the way, before we if we wrap up, because something we can get going like we should have done last week. Look behind me. You see those stands? If you were here with the fan bus tonight, by the way, which came 3 strong, considering it is a Friday.
Friday construction holidays in Quebec. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why maybe you wouldn't have seen so many Montreal fans making the trip, especially since this is the only time the Montreal Alouettes are going to come to Percival Molson Stadium West. Yeah. So, I mean, it's now or never. And give credit to all of Alouettes Nation who showed out, because those stands over there, that's where the Montreal bench was.
Yeah.
That's where all the Montreal fans were.
Yep.
Everybody was loud. Everybody was making noise. It really started truly feeling like a home game.
Yeah, Montreal Alouettes. It really did. And one point that I was going to make too is that if you weren't here, or if you don't have the chance, if you have the chance, come, because those stands in 2027 will not exist.
Gone, baby, gone. They're going to be raised, and yes, they will build stands, but you're not going to see. Like, I don't know if you can see the overhang right here. That's not going to be there anymore. It's going to be a lot smaller. In fact, the next couple of years here in Ottawa are going to be very interesting, not just for visiting fans coming to check out their team, but for Ottawa RedBlacks fans as well, for our nation. You basically got one side of the stadium that I think is going to be in use. The other side is just going to be decorative, for lack of a better term.
Yep, for 2 seasons. All has to do with, because they're redesigning the stands here to make them very similar to the north side. No roof. And it's an end of an era. It's our last time that we'll see them the way they are. And I guess we'll see with TD Place 2.0 when it does come to fruition in a couple of years. Yep. But other than that, as I said, TD Place has been very good to the Alouettes over the last 13 games. If you were to to put a cap on the game tonight and what we saw tonight and the performance that they did, what would you say?
I think if there was even just a shred of doubt of how good this Montreal Alouettes team is, no more doubts. I think you look at what this team was able to do tonight, and yes, it's easy to say against a lesser opponent, but we saw how Ottawa gave Montreal fits a few weeks ago at home. So, I mean, we were worried about maybe this being a trap game even for the Alouettes, but I think a statement was made. I think they showed they are who they say they are. And arguably right now, they are the best team in the Canadian Football League. Now, what's going to be very interesting, though, is tomorrow, Saturday, the Edmonton Elks are going to be hosting the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 2 teams that also, too, are in the conversation as far as the best team in the Canadian Football League goes. Edmonton still only has 1 defeat. They win. That's Montreal's next opponent. The Elks will come to Montreal to play at Percival Molson Stadium. And we could be looking at 2 7-1 teams battling.
Yep, next Saturday afternoon, an afternoon game at Percival Molson.
I mean, you want to talk about cinema? I mean, a lot of the games this year have been absolute cinema, as the kids say. But next Saturday, that is going to be huge. And I'll even go so far as to say potential Grey Cup preview.
Oh, yeah, as you were saying earlier tonight, you had to make sure that Edmonton still has to do the job.
They do.
They have to do the job, and it's going to be potentially 30 to 35,000 plus. Thank goodness, and that we're really happy about.
That's amazing.
When it comes to over at Commonwealth, I don't know what took fans so long, but I guess they were.
You know what? It's as though winning fixes everything.
Yeah.
If your team is successful, you go out and support them. Simple as that. And again, if you want to see a full stadium, and let's face it, 35,000 seats at Commonwealth being sold. Absolutely tremendous, considering they've been tarping off the upper deck. And well, as of now, we'll see what happens, because I know that we could still get a big walk-up crowd in Edmonton. Some of the sections upstairs are going to be, the tarps are going to come off, and people are going to go and be able to sit in those seats. If you had season tickets in Edmonton back in the day, up in the upper deck, you may have the opportunity to go and sit and watch your team play in the seats that you used to have.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is absolutely tremendous, and just speaks to not only how well the Elks have been playing, the winning culture that they've been able to foster over the entirety of the 2026 season, but also Edmonton fans finally waking up and realize, hey, we got a pretty good team here. I'm going to go support them. I'm going to go see them. I want to see them win. And yes, I know a lot of people are going to talk about Rider Nation showing up for the game, and yes, they certainly will. There's no question about that. But the fact that Edmonton themselves are showing up and showing out, I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to watching that game on TV tomorrow.
Yep, I agree with you. And real quickly, a quick thing on the Alouettes today. We did see Mustafa Johnson leave in the fourth quarter. We don't know the full extent of the injury. He did look like he was limping. Obviously, once the team announces, once we see for practice next week, what the issue is and what we'll see from there. And same thing with, it was
Najee Murray also was banged up a bit.
And also we had a late scratch coming into the game too.
Yes, Wesley Sutton unfortunately was a last minute removal from the lineup. In his place was Shakespeare Louis getting some reps, which again, nothing wrong with that, but obviously this team plays so much better when Wesley Sutton's in the lineup. So hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully it's just a preventive measure more than anything else.
Yeah, they listed on the injury report, I think it was a calf. I think I said that it was, and he was limited on the 1 day of practice this week. And he just couldn't go. And who got dinged up? Was it Cole that got dinged up at the end of the game?
No, Tyler Snead.
Tyler Snead got dinged up. So again, stay tuned for any information that comes out from us on social media, or anything else that comes out from the team, because we try to get you as much information as possible. And by the way, if you haven't missed any part of this broadcast, make sure you can watch the archive over on X, Facebook, or on YouTube. It will also be available in audio, not as quickly as it normally is, because Cliff and I will be returning to Montreal tonight after we finish the show. Any last words? As I said, it's funny to say, an end of an era here in the current configuration that we know here at Purcell Molson West. Anything else before we finish?
Well, again, folks, like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell. You know the drill by now. Make sure you are a part of the flight crew. And yes, to answer your question, yeah, it's end of an era in a lot of ways. I mean, yes, there still will be football being played here at TD Place for the rest of the year for the RedBlacks. Mm-hmm. It's just that for Alouettes Nation, I mean, barring some crazy fluky thing in the playoffs or something like that.
We've seen it. BC Boy Lions.
There you go. And but aside from that, the next time we come to Purcell Molson Stadium West will be in 2027. And we could walk in and we could be sitting on the other side.
That's going to be, And by the way, we want to thank everybody who supported us and sent us messages concerning what happened last week over at Purcell Molson Stadium East. And if you're curious to know the full details, go back and check this week's podcast, because we do go over it in length. And again, once we do hear something from the organization, we will make sure that we let you guys know what's going to be happening going forward.
Yeah, and once again, I'm going to echo Tim's statement again from everybody that's reached out to us. Thank you. We definitely appreciate it. It's great to know that I think the podcast networks, really, when you think about it, like all the podcasts that are out there, we got to support each other. We got to, be there for each other and stuff like that. And just having those, well wishes and, the support and everything like that, it really, truly does mean a lot to us. So once again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who's been supporting us along the way, encouraging us, letting us know, when people come up to us here, for example, at Purcell Molson Stadium West, and let us know, hey man, love the show. Great. It means a lot to us. So once again, thank you so much for everybody. Make sure you, again, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. This party's still going to go, man. We're not stopping for security. I'm about to go yell at somebody.
I know. I tell you, well,
maybe that's Ottawa's high sign for us, right?
Well, at least we're going to have a truck come by tonight, or some loud, some
beeping.
Yeah, beeping or something like that. But either way. Okay. So for the final time here at GD Place, aka Purcell Molson West, the Alouettes do beat the Ottawa RedBlacks by the score of 34-13. Lord. For Cliffy D, I'm Tim Capper, and we'll talk to you soon.